In the meantime, Jason Ross, what a difference 24 hours could make. As the NBA draft lottery is tonight, you got a couple of games tonight. You got Warriors and Timberwolves at 7:00. Celtics Knicks at 4:30. I believe it's halftime of Celtics Knicks, right? That the draft lottery is, so somewhere around 6:00 ish, give or take a few minutes. We will know. The Sacramento Kings have.
I think it's before the Celtics Knicks.
Oh, is it before? It's not halftime. Oh, okay.
I think.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. The Sacramento Kings have virtually
awful odds.
Yeah, like it's not that they have no chance, Jason. It's just that they pretty much have no chance of picking at any higher than, I think, 12th to 13th.
Yeah, they can't. The only options are, what are they going in, 13 or 12?
13.
Yeah. So they're either picking, their name is either going to show up first at 14 if they went back one, which those odds are really low, or 13, and then 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's it. Those are their choices. Now, if it's 13 or 14, that's going to Atlanta, which is what is expected. And that'll finally be done. But the best case scenario, I guess, would be to not see the Kings' name at 14 and then certainly at 13. Then they've moved into the top 4. They'll make it to the commercial. Keon Ellis, as we said earlier, is the Kings representative. And he'd be one of the 4 people left. And for about 5 to 10 minutes, everybody be going nuts on social media.
The Sacramento Kings pick, the third pick. How many sims did it take me to get to that?
9.
I'm going to go with 6 this time.
10.
Oh,
okay.
It's getting lower.
So they have a 0.8% chance of landing the number 1 pick. It's not great. And that pick, as you said, is going to Atlanta. Would you rather?
Yeah, if they move up, it's not. Yeah.
Would you rather? Yeah. Would you rather them move back to 14th and you find out right away? Can they pick 12th?
No.
Okay, so it's
13,
only
14, or 1, 2, 3, 4.
So would you rather find out they pick 14th and get it out of the way, or would you rather 14th it's not them and then find out
14th would be kind of funny just because it's worse for Atlanta?
Yeah.
I mean, going backwards is I think the odds are as bad or even worse than getting the top 4.
I would rather them pick 14th than 13th.
Wait a minute. If I'm not
mistaken,
if
it's 14th, and that means Atlanta jumps up and
no, but you know what? Here's that. No, that's the scenario. That's it, Chris. Thank you. I think if it's 14, that is the worst thing that could happen to Atlanta, because the Kings would go back to 14. That's Atlanta. That means Atlanta's pick is in the top 4. That's the Spurs.
Ooh. Oh,
that would be the worst scenario for Atlanta.
Oh, my God. Ever. That's right.
So they lost 1 spot technically, and then their pick is going to the Spurs.
God, if I was a Hawks fan, which there's like 5, but still, that would depress me. 40 and 42 were the Sacramento Kings this year. As we said, a 0.8% chance of winning the lottery. All right, let's see how long it takes me to get top 4. As we have a lottery simulator right here. The Kings right now, after one of those, the Kings are picking 13th.
Okay.
This is great radio. The Kings are picking 13th. That's number 2. The Kings are picking 13th. That's 3. 13th. That's 4. 13th. That's 5. 13th. That's 6. 7. 8. 9. 10 simulations. The Kings are still at 13th. 11. 12, 13, 14.
It's going to be on the 16th.
15. Jason's calling it. 16. 17. 18. Kings are still picking 13th. Wow. 19. 20.
No way.
21. I mean, isn't this going with the odds?
Yeah.
22. 23. The Sacramento Kings. On the 24th, spin of the wheel, move up 10 spots and pick Ace Bailey with the number 3 pick, small forward out of Rutgers.
Well, maybe it's that ping pong ball situation.
By the way, if the Kings did move up, it would absolutely not be for number 1. Just cause.
But wouldn't you take 4?
Absolutely. Of course. Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm just saying, like, they'd move up, and for the next 10, 15 minutes, this whole city is going absolute ape blank. And then, weirdly enough, we'd find a way. Here's how it would go. It would
like
go,
a letdown.
Yes, it would be. I wouldn't be. Look, it wouldn't be you'd be let down. You'd be upset for about 10 minutes, and then it'd be like, "Hey, man, we got really lucky."
Okay, here's the one. Would you rather have? Okay, so somehow they're not 13 or 14, so they're making the commercial. They're that long wait.
Uh-huh.
They come back. If they're not going to be 1, would you rather hear it at 4? So it's the quick, emotional letdown, or it gets to 2. There's 2 left. Even though I think you'd rather have the second pick.
Would. You're right. No, I hear what you're saying.
That one would be like, oh my gosh, because every time they open up a new envelope and it's not them, it was like,
right.
Oh my gosh, they got number one.
I get it, but I'd still rather have the higher pick, but I completely get it.
I think there's something about the Kings have moved up a couple times. They moved up in the Keegan draft. They moved up, obviously, in the Bagley one. And the Fox one. They had 3 times in the last, decade or so that they've had some lottery luck after years of not having any. But this one is the longest odds. And I feel like if they got in the top 4, it just would feel like you did win something. The offseason has already started with hiring of Scott Perry and Doug Christie, and it's like, does this feel like a fresh start? I don't know what it would feel like if that happens tonight.
Well, let's also remember the Kings pick to Atlanta was top 12
Correct.
protected. The Kings finished at 40-42. That's 1 game behind Dallas and Chicago for the 11-12. I think it's important to point out the Kings won 4 of their last 6 games. They beat Charlotte, Cleveland, Detroit, and Phoenix on the final day. And it's easy to, second guess, especially with the way that worked out with Dallas. But I'm pretty sure in hindsight, we all would have taken them losing out. I personally don't equate that home loss against Dallas as worth a first-round pick. But that's
the opportunity at the time was like, okay, you win this game, you win the next one, okay.
Right.
But they did not win the first one. They got embarrassed at home.
If they won, though, to your point, you're right. It would be a completely fresh start.
Yeah, and, it also gives you options. Look, I think if you're a top 4 team, I would assume, it's an assumption, but I would assume they'd want to take that selection because you've got a young player. You've got what's supposed to be a pretty good draft, a deep draft, under contract control. There's a lot of positives for having a lottery pick if you get a player that works out for you.
Also makes you wonder what you do with it. If you
could trade it.
If you have the number 1 pick, you're drafting Cooper Flag. I think you kind of have to, unless Milwaukee calls, then you're having a conversation. Yeah. But they get the 2, the 3, the 4. I don't know. Maybe you're looking at, well, if we attach this to that, we could do this, we could do that. I don't know. Summer League's now in play. Mm-hmm. We're going to Vegas.
Right.
We're going to Vegas if that happens. There's a lot of different things that, and honestly, this damn franchise deserves the fans, I should say, deserve a feel good.
Yeah.
They really do. If it's on.
Well, this would be that's for sure.
It would. And,
I think we said it, and I don't know if we agreed, but the thought of also going back to like the last couple games, had the Kings won, beating Dallas then, and then beating I forgot who it would have been, Memphis in Memphis.
Yep.
Then it would have been through OKC.
Yes.
And I think at the time I said, like, winning the lottery will be like trying to get through that gauntlet. Like the odds would have been obviously the Kings didn't even get through the first game, but beating Memphis would have been difficult, and somehow beating OKC 4 times, I don't think would have happened.
No.
The odds were really low, just like the odds are very low tonight.
Right. And that's where it was binary for, I understand, it's where it was binary for people like me, because I do think in black and whites generally about this stuff. Like, that's why I did want them to tank, because a first round thrashing against the Thunder, in my mind, I go, okay, the Sacramento Kings trade a top 12 first-round pick and better odds at winning the lottery in exchange for 2 play-in wins and a thrashing in the first round where they maybe win one game against Oklahoma City. Like, I fully acknowledge that's one really good feel-good moment at home over Dallas. Then a feel-good on the road, some great radio for a few days, some fun.
Yeah.
And then they get killed against the Thunder. And it's like, okay, well, was that worth it?
Yeah.
Not to me.
But then even then you think about like Utah, who had the worst record, their odds are 14%.
Yeah.
It's not great.
No, it's not. It's not
crazy.
It really is. And it makes you wonder. I mean, we have a tanking issue in the NBA, so I don't want to reward the losers necessarily, but golly. And then now, as you say, we know San Antonio is going to win this thing or get close or something. And my God, Cooper Flag to go with those guys. Then they turn around and pull off a deal for Wembanyama.
Right.
Just say goodnight.
Well, that leads into our worst case scenario. That's for sure.
Here we go. Coming up next. What is the worst case scenario for the Sacramento Kings tonight and everything surrounding that? We'll get to it next.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports. You are good at what you do, Jason. I agree. I agree with the completely random and authentic listener. The Thunder have a 36% chance of receiving a top 10 pick based off tonight's lottery results. If the Sixers are chosen before number 6 overall, their pick goes to Oklahoma City thanks to the Al Horford salary dump in 2020. By the way, the Kings have a 92% chance of remaining at number 13 and giving that pick to Atlanta. So is that the worst case scenario, Jason, that the Kings pick 13th and see you later?
No, I think, one of the positives of what the odds suggest today is then that's done. Right now, the Kings have finished off that trade. They have flexibility to trade future first-round picks. That would be that part. But I think if you're looking at worst-case scenarios, and also the Kings then would only have a second-round pick. But the worst-case scenarios, I look at other teams in the West. Like, look, Utah's the best chance as far as odds. If Cooper Flag and they win it, good for them. They still have a ways to go. But I'm thinking of New Orleans, who was really injured last year, winning. I'm thinking of Houston has a chance with Phoenix's pick of winning. San Antonio can do a scenario where they get 1-2 or 1-4 or 1-3. That's crazy to me. And then the one you just mentioned, OKC can move up there.
Here's one. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think this through because it sounds like a stupid question on the surface, but if you ask me which is a worst case scenario for people in the West, the Thunder getting the number 1 pick or the Spurs getting the number 1 pick, I have to think about it for a second. It's the Thunder, I think, because of where they are right now.
Yeah, they're way far along.
But my God, you had Cooper Flag on the Spurs to go with everything else they have right now. I think at that point they just don't even go for Giannis. Why would they go for Giannis? You've got so much under. I want to say, isn't De'Aaron Fox the highest paid player on that team? I think. And you got Wembanyama. That's the other thing too, is they're so damn young,
right?
That you've got so much on that team that is. They had the number 27 payroll in the league last year. Yeah, Fox is the highest paid player by $10 million next year, followed by Vassell and Keldon Johnson at 27 and 17. Barnes is making 19. But Wembanyama in 3 years is going to be making $23 million.
What if the Spurs trade Fox to Milwaukee to make the?
So we were talking about earlier, which would be hilarious. The problem is Milwaukee doesn't do it.
Huh? But if they're just trying to get it's just hey, we got everything we want. We're just throwing him in here to make the contracts match.
That would actually be kind of funny. And then watch him play for Houston in 2 years. Yeah. So that would leave the Kings with a second round pick.
Yeah. Which is what the expectations are, right, at this point. But yeah, if you see Houston, San Antonio, New Orleans get it, as opposed to, if number 1 goes to Washington or Charlotte, we won't see Cooper Flag much, but at least he's in the East. Utah or Portland, they're a little bit further away, but Portland's not that far away from getting there.
An intriguing one would be the Wizards because they've just kind of
getting lottery pick after lottery pick and still in the lottery.
That's one of those teams that I think would make it rather interesting because you're right. They have had lottery pick after lottery pick, but you start to see like a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel with them. Maybe Charlotte, as you just said, would be interesting. Utah, again, as a Kings fan, if you can't have it, you probably don't want that one pick going in the West.
Right.
You want Flag in the East. But then also too, I mean, there's no complete guarantee that Cooper Flag's going to be the best player in this draft. We think he will be. It sounds like he will be. Certainly looks like that. He's 18 and a half years old, and just an absolute complete player on both sides of the ball. Like you have a high basketball IQ, a tremendous athletic ability, a competitor. The motor on both sides is ridiculous. He doesn't take plays off. He knows how to score. He knows how to defend. He knows how to block shots at 6'9". I mean, he's the ultimate swing man that projects to have a long career in this league. And I think that career would be the best here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the Kings have that choice, but also looks like a guy defensively that can play multiple positions, switch on multiple guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's the prize. He's the prize of this draft. But like I said earlier, it's supposed to be a good draft. Some pretty good depth there. And, I will be excited for it. I mean, I know the reality is the odds are really, really rough. But as those picks are called, it's just always intriguing to see if, in fact, the Kings get lucky.
And I would say to everybody, look, nobody's gonna not get excited, nor would I ask them to. Just it's the hope that kills you. Just remember what franchise it is. Obviously, remember the odds.
I think it's okay. Let me paint this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be hopeful and optimistic. I don't think it's going to happen.
Sure,
but that's my approach. So it's like, again, if the Kings get called right away, you're like, okay, I was hopeful, but it's done. Whereas the year when they won 17 games and they by far had the worst record, the best one, they had the best odds to get number one, and they got 4. That was really disappointing.
Yep, that sucked.
Like tonight, I don't think I'll be disappointed. I'll be only thrilled,
right?
Or it's like, that's probably where I thought they were going to be, 13th, so they don't get the pick. I mean, maybe disappointed, maybe slightly,
no,
not to the level of like if we were in Utah today.
Right.
We're thinking about Cooper Flag.
That's right.
Yeah,
that
was my thought.
Well,
or Charlotte or Washington.
I compared it before to like when you buy a lotto ticket. Mm-hmm. You're not winning,
right?
And
you're
usually
not winning. The same bit, like, oh, these are the lucky numbers,
right?
I'll come back and split with you, to the person you buy it from.
You're not winning, but you also allow yourself a couple times during the week to just daydream about what you'd do if you did. Now, by the way. The Kings have far better odds at getting Cooper Flag than we would at winning the lotto.
Yeah.
I would take those lotto odds every day of the week. But even then, when I see those numbers, like I'm looking at I got like a 10 pay. I put $10 down on the lotto. I'm feeling good. That's 10 spaces, right? And then I end up getting like 2 combined numbers.
Yeah, but you're thinking of your 2 home locations. So you
right.
got warm weather, cold weather.
That's right. The whole thing.
Like, here's where I'm going to live.
If Jason wins the lottery, he tells Dave, hey, I'm going to pay for your kid's school, but she's got to transfer.
She's got to transfer. Sorry, kid. Yeah. Sorry, kid.
Would she do it?
She wouldn't have a choice. Would she do it?
Fully funded.
Yeah, get out of here.
All 6 years.
Yeah, please.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you're done. So it'll be similar to tonight. I'm allowing myself to dream about Cooper Flag in a Kings uniform, what it would look like, how crazy tomorrow's show would be, how crazy the next week or two would be, the optimism and the enthusiasm. Hell, the camera shots we would certainly see on social media of wherever the Kings salespeople are gathering to watch the draft lottery just go berserk. Every team does that with their people. It would be amazing,
right?
And then when it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be like legit, not depressed generally about it, but just like Yeah, of course not. All right. And then in my head, I'll just be kind of glazed over watching the rest of it. And just in my head, I'll have the thoughts like, yet again, God hates Sacramento. Of course it wasn't going to happen. You don't get to have nice things. You probably would have screwed it up anyways. Remember Purvis Ellison? Did I leave the oven on?
You have a lot of thoughts.
There's a sale at Penny's. Do I need another pair of shoes?
What's my cheat day meal?
Right, like, come on. Oh, by the way.
What did you do Friday?
I had a bad day Friday, dude.
Bad day as far
I
as...
had the fattest day I've had in a
So you had 2 meals.
So on the way out.
Lunch and dinner poorly.
I left here, and I had to go to Vallejo for golf, and I got so hungry. So I went to Wendy's, and I got the $7 bag of whatever with the root beer, fries,
and a burger,
junior bacon cheese, and their nuggets.
Okay.
House that. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on the way home, I leave, and
I'm still so hungry.
So because I got to go home and go to that. Took the kids to that Disturbed concert.
Oh, that's right.
No nappy. I'm tired, dude.
Yeah.
But I'm so hungry again. Like, I just had, that was all I had. And finally I'm like, screw it. Because Melissa had gotten pizza. So I was like, man, I don't even know if I'll have time to eat the pizza with traffic. So I go to Carl's.
Oh, wow. What'd you get there?
Dude, I'm so ashamed. I got the famous star combo with cheese, no lettuce, no tomato, fried zucchini instead of French fries. I went large so I could get the large zucchini and large root beer. And then you know what? Just felt like it. I got a chocolate shake.
Oh man, I'm out of cash.
And I also forgot that Wendy's is having a 2 chocolate chunk cookies for $1 deal if you buy a value meal. So I forgot I had the cookies. So I housed the value meal, which has got to be like 1,400 calories. And then
you worked it off on golf.
Yeah, but this was after golf.
I know.
And then I'm eating the chocolate chunk cookies with the shake. And then there was bad traffic. And then I get home and I go take a shower, get ready for the game or for the concert. And then on the way out the door, I grab a piece of sausage and pepperoni. And I'm like eating it on the way. Like I'm
popcorn at the concert.
As a matter of fact, yes, there was popcorn at the concert.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, it was bad, dude. Like honestly, I got so much fatter Friday. I just was. I don't mind eating healthy, but it's the hardest part is making it, having it accessible.
Right.
We don't have enough. Are there any healthy drive-thrus? And I'm not going to McDonald's and getting a salad. Just not doing it. Why don't we have a healthy drive-thru where I can go get like rice and chicken?
Yeah, who would go to that?
I would. Am I the only one that would go to that?
Panda.
Yeah, kind of. But do they have drive-thrus?
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Not all of them, but a few.
All right. We'll take a break from the 916. I love when Dave uses it's the hope that kills you. Because it is. It's the hope that kills you. Don't hope. Hope is overrated. When we come back, hey, Derek Carr retired. And we got a lot to talk about there. Raider fan, I want to talk to you because I don't get why you don't like him so much. We'll talk about it next.
On the move, got somewhere to be.